Live from Outgo TV Studios in Michigan City, Indiana, this is Pro Wrestling Tonight with your host, John Bullard. Hello and welcome, wrestling fans. This is John Bullard here at Pro Wrestling Tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have entrepreneur, professional wrestler, and humanitarian, and also promoter of C3 Wrestling, Chris Classic, as our guest. Just a week or two ago, ladies and gentlemen, I was actually at the C3 Wrestling event that was in Hammond, Indiana. An amazing event that I was very much proud to be part of. We've actually created a highlight package to actually showcase their event and the talent that you will see at C3 Wrestling. Check out this video package.
What's the build at? One you the second to the last? Shut up. Because it's kind of funny. You got a locker room full of clowns that don't even deserve to lace my boots. Boy, do you know how long I've been in this business? If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be in this business. 20 years plus.
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking about great action of professional wrestling, C3 Wrestling. That was an amazing highlight package video. And speaking of action, coming up on April 4th here in Michigan City, Indiana, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling proudly presents the first ever TV taping for their debut TV studio show. Coming here to Michigan City, Indiana. Sorry about that for a little typo there. When we have our show coming up here, ladies and gentlemen, check out our website at www.chicagolandchampionshipwrestling.com. Now, without further ado, my guest for the evening, the one and only Chris Classic.
Glad to be here.
Hey, Chris, thank you for being on our show here at Pro Wrestling Tonight.
Thank you.
I was telling our viewers at home that not only are you an entrepreneur, a champion caliber professional wrestler, also a top-notch promoter for there at C3 Wrestling.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
But you're also a humanitarian as well for what you do for the children in the school system here in Northwest Indiana.
Yes.
Now, for the fans at home that have not had the chance to meet this man or seen his shows, tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris, and how did you get involved in professional wrestling?
I started in 2012. The way I started was my wife, actually. Before I met my wife, I was a wrestling fan. I'm from Texas, so my great-grandfather, he would watch wrestling after Walker, Texas Ranger came on, and I was enamored by wrestling. It was WCW and it was WWF, which is WWE right now. And one of the teams that stuck out to me, especially with representation, was Harlem Heat. And me and my brothers, we used to just watch them, and we were like, oh my God, like wrestling is just, this is awesome. And we didn't even have cable at the home. So we had cable at our great-grandparents' house. And we would watch it, and then like when my mom would come pick us up, we'd be like, oh man, why we gotta go? We wanted to see that. We wanted to see it. We didn't have cable at the time. Yeah. So ever since then, I was a fan of wrestling. I moved up here in 2007 after I graduated, and my wife, when I met her, she used to tell me that she used to wrestle. And really? I was like, get out of here. I was like, no, she did not. No way. And then she would show me some of the tapes that she had when she was trained. And she was actually the top champion there, too.
Oh, wow.
At the League of Wrestlers. And there was one time when her trainer, he was coming back with this company, and then he asked me, did I want to learn how to wrestle? And at first I was nervous because I was like, yeah, I want to, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to hurt nobody.
Yeah,
you know, and my wife,
something like, man, what if this happens?
And my wife, she it's a put up or shut up thing.
Yeah.
So it was for a church. So she said, do I want to train? So I said, yeah, let me see. So I used to train under Rage and Chi-Town T, and they used to work for Windy City Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
And the first time I went, I was sore. I didn't know how to bump correctly, but this was something that I felt that I needed to do. And we fast forward, the church show never happened, but I was so in love with wrestling, I decided that I wanted to wrestle. And that's how I got into the business. So if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't even be here right now speaking amongst another businessman. So that's how it started.
That's amazing. You know, you hear so many stories about, guys in the wrestling business, their wives usually either they love the business or they hate the business.
Yeah. You
and myself are both got something in common. Both our wives are strong supporters of the wrestling business.
Yes.
And I have a similar feeling. Me and my wife is the same way. She wasn't a wrestler, but I met her when I was planning to go to Ring of Honor to actually get a tryout for them. And sure enough, bad blizzard during the winter time in Chicago. And I was looking up directions, and there she was.
Yeah.
Love at first sight.
Yeah.
Now, with a wife being the champion wrestler, you being a championship caliber wrestler,
thank you.
Your kids would end up being champion wrestlers. So I have a strong feeling about that, Chris. What all companies have you wrestled for?
Oh my! I started off with, it's called PRW now, but it was formerly IUWA. I was there for a while, and then there was another company called Premier Pro Wrestling. They wrestle out in Woodstock. There was another company in Godley, Illinois, Northern Lights Wrestling. It was CWA in Dalton. There was a league of wrestlers that wrestled more towards the Chicago area. And when I say that, and this is what I commended Rage for, was that he was going to places where it wasn't popular. It wasn't the Lakeshore Drives. It wasn't everything like that. It was the halls, the streets. It was the back streets, and he was trying to do everything for the kids to understand, and we would pack out those shows as well. There's a True Privilege Wrestling owned by Justin and Kendra Hall, which I'm currently the champion there. Oh man, it's a few companies, and I don't mean no disrespect if I forgot any of you, but I appreciate you guys even giving me an opportunity to wrestle. But yeah, it's been a few companies.
Yeah, that's alphabet soup of professional wrestling for Chicagoland.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
I actually had the chance to work with League of Wrestlers. They did the Paul Hall Community Center.
Yes.
And I worked for them, oh gosh, it was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And refereed. There was down a referee, of course, being a utility man, you know how this is.
Yeah.
You do what's best for the show, and sure enough, they're like, oh, yeah, we need a referee. And I was like, I've been glad to help. I've done this before.
Yeah.
And the first thing they threw me into was a gauntlet match, went like over an hour. And I was just looking at that. I was looking at Rion's skills.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at Rion's like, really, Rion? I was tired, man.
Yeah.
So being a champion at True Privilege Wrestling with Justin and Kendra, who actually runs a very top-notch wrestling show as well.
One of the top companies, and they also give younger people who are hungry for this business opportunities. I've faced many in the main event, and you wouldn't see them at other companies as the main event so early in their wrestling career.
Yeah.
So to even have that risk is something I appreciate, because in pro wrestling, I do believe that it's a lack of risk with companies. You don't have faith that the new people who will carry the future, they will not be successful. And this is why I can commend True Privilege, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, because you have a mix of veterans, and then you also have some of the young blood.
Yeah.
And it's a mix. And this is a risk in wrestling that needs to happen. We can sit and we can complain about wrestling losing its art, or we can try to salvage it. So this is one thing I appreciate even about your company.
I appreciate that. Yeah, as a veteran myself, and you're very much a wrestling veteran yourself, we know it's so important when you take a young wrestler
Yes, sir.
that wants to learn and wants to gain the experience. And the best way to gain experience is put them with the veterans to teach them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And let them learn the hard way sometimes.
Many of them.
The guys like the Sea Reds, the Vic Capris, the Chris Logans of the world, guys that's been to the dance.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I learned a lot from C. Red.
Oh, yeah.
That's my brother outside of wrestling. Like, we talk a lot about anything, personal, everything. That is my brother right there. So, love you, C. Red.
Yeah, C. Red's one of the best guys ever. Truly someone who gives back to the business as much as he possibly can.
Always.
Yes. Oh, yeah. One of the unsung heroes in the wrestling business in Chicago.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, that being said, there was the show in Hammond that you did with C3, your company.
Yes.
Now, how did C3 Wrestling actually come about?
Oh, man. I got blessed with the wonderful job that pays very well. And I would look at many companies and I'd be like, man, if I owned a company, I would do it this way, or I would switch things up, or I would give this person an opportunity. So I love wrestling so much, and it's a passion of mine. So I would talk to my wife and we would be like, hey, I want to start a company. I want to do a building. I want to provide for the community. I want to do everything. So the seeds was already set. It was already set in stone of what I wanted to do. So then I had to come up with the name. So C3 Wrestling, the 3 part is actually cubed. So it's 3 C's in front. And what they stand for is Classics Collision Course Wrestling. And when I say that, that means it's a mix of lucha, American, grapple, anywhere. It's very complex, but it's very easy to understand, and it's just a mix of wrestlers. When you come to a show, you won't just get one side; you'll get everything, so you can pick. So
you get the entire flavor of ice cream, per se, for what wrestling is all about.
And it was very I was very nervous because I had to message my friends. My first show was January 19, 2019, and it was very nervous. So, hey, are you free January 19th? Yeah, why? I'm gonna run my first company. What? Oh man, what? Like, man, really? Oh, you running a company too? And it was nervous, but then I had a lot of my friends and family that was accepting of it. Hey man, if you need help with anything, let me know. I'm so happy for you. You know, you have the great mind into the business, and it was like, you know what? I can really do this thing. And then we fast forward, last week was like my third show, and then I'm already thinking about a fourth. I just feel like it's something that was meant to be. And then not only that, but also bring wrestling to the community and also help people, because there's so many negative situations with wrestling that people just try to say, oh, it's just a bad thing, it's a blood sport, and it's not. It's a very family-friendly event. So
Yeah. I was very impressed with my time being there in your presence of your company of C3.
I appreciate it.
You know, it's a family-friendly event. You folks have a chance to definitely come out and check it out. I highly recommend it. Not only that, but the talent that you bring is top of the line. Some of the best young talent in Northwest Indiana and Chicago.
I give all of it to them, man. They showed me something, and even at other shows, I tell them how much I appreciate them. Hey man, this was a great match. I was very impressed with that. Keep up the good work. And sometimes we are a brotherhood, and sometimes we are our fans for our wrestlers as well, and we have to support them. So,
absolutely.
So yeah.
One of the things I do love what you do with your promotion and what you have done for the community. The most important thing that I was always taught in the wrestling business is always give back.
Yes.
As much as possible.
Yes.
And a lot of the promoters I've encountered, a lot of them do fundraiser events.
Yes.
But you do something, you kind of go a step above just doing a fundraiser. You do backpacks for underprivileged children in the area that, you know, maybe their mother and father may not have the best financial needs to get them school supplies, or single parent households, which is, you know, a struggle for any parent, you know, trying to take care of their kids. You go out of your way to make sure those children have backpacks and school supplies.
Yes.
At the show, you had a program, what was it, best readers in school or class?
If you had A's and B's, or if you had perfect attendance, you were awarded a free ticket to the show, just to show appreciation.
You can't beat
And
that.
kids love wrestling, so this was a way to be like, okay, well, if I didn't get one next time, hopefully I can work with the school again. Then maybe, you know, I'll work harder and everything. You know, these are crucial times for school to learn math and science and reading and comprehension. So that was the goal, to try to encourage to have better grades. It wasn't for just to fill out seats for my show. I really do want these kids to succeed in whatever they want to do.
No, they're the future.
Yes.
And you don't provide a golden path for them to go down that road.
Right.
And who will lead them down that
Exactly.
road. So it's important.
Exactly.
And definitely should be commended for the hard work and effort for doing that.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's so easy for someone to put on a fundraiser event and just have a show and raise money for a school, but for you to literally go out of your own pocket, going out of your own way to do the things that you're doing, it's highly commendable. Everybody at home, check out his shows. It's great for what he does for the community. It's great for what he does for professional wrestling, but most of all, it's great for what he does for the kids. And Chris, during that C3 show, you had an amazing match.
Thank you.
Against Just Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Now, anybody hasn't seen Just Amazing at home, high flyer extraordinaire. The guy throws martial arts moves and
One
kicks.
of the best.
It's like watching like reincarnated Bruce Lee in the ring. It's
Top five indie wise. I'm saying that. I promise.
Oh, I agree. It's two super motors.
I think he's underappreciated. I think that when I first met him, he was very good, and he was the best wrestler at the gym when we trained together, and he was the best. So now he has lucha, he has American, he has Japan, he has a whole bunch of moves into his arsenal, and I think that if more companies gave him the chance, they would be blown away. You know, he's not just amazing; he's just awesome. You know, he's
a human highlight reel.
He is.
You watch him do stuff. It's first time I ever saw him. I mean, my jaw just literally was like down. And I was like, oh my God, is he really doing this?
His mind is different. You know, he has a mind and he has a heart for this. Like the stuff that he went through, I'm not going to put it out there. Like if you listen to him, you'd be like, man, are you still doing the things you're doing? Like, wow, you know, it's a testimony, man.
Yeah, he never gives up.
Never.
You know, and that's a testimony of a champion.
Yeah.
During the show, you and him had what is considered the final confrontation.
Okay.
Between you two. I believe it was You had a best out of 3 series over your history wrestling each other?
It was controversy with the previous wins. So I beat him twice, so it's in the books. But the third time, it's like I don't like to have matches just over and over and over. So it was like this was a possibility that this might be the last time we face each other. And he was victorious. So I tip my hat to that. You know, I respect him because that is my brother.
Now, after the match, we all just sat there and couldn't believe what we saw next. Was when you got up, you shook his hand, and then you proceeded to do something that in the wrestling business, this is a very strong ceremonial thing. When a professional wrestler takes his boots off in the middle of the ring, that is the signal of retirement or stepping down from the company. You took your boots off in the middle of the ring. And as an exclusive here at Pro Wrestling Tonight, we're going to give you the platform to talk to the fans at home and explain the situation at hand.
I've been wrestling for going on 8 years. I've faced some of the best. I've had great matches. I've had bad matches. You know, no disrespect to anybody I had a bad match with, but C3 is going places. It's going a lot of great places. And, you know, I'm thinking back and I was looking at the show and then I put my boots in the middle of the ring. So I want to say right now as an exclusive that I am retired from C3 Wrestling. Now, what does that mean? That means that I am retired from the company that I created. I'm trusting and I'm putting the faith into all the wrestlers for the company, the Just Amazings, the RK Savages, the Aaron Stones, the Miles Mercers. I'm trusting all of these guys to carry the company, that I don't have to lace my boots, that I can be more, to try to put more of them on the pedestal. So this is one thing that I'm doing. So that's the thing. I'm done with my company. However, you can still catch me wrestling at True Privilege Wrestling, where I am the champ. Eventually, I will be at Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Absolutely.
And those are the only 2 companies right now that I'm even focused on wrestling. I'm not focused on any other company wrestling right now. These 3 companies, we will carry the future, and 2020 will be a good year for all 3 of us. So I'm done. I'm retired in my own company. Yes.
And, you know, talking about Chicagoland, we are definitely looking forward to having you on board on the roster.
I appreciate it.
Been watching you for the last couple of years. I've always was impressed with your in-ring ability and also your professionalism. But also on top of that, for another exclusive for you, the fans, C3 Wrestling and Chicagoland Championship Wrestling are actually forming an alliance together.
Yes, sir.
To provide the entire Northwest Indiana communities around us top-notch wrestling shows.
Yes, sir.
But we're also going to be working together to help with programs for kids in schools.
Yes.
And also for the community around us, the firefighter departments, the police departments, the people who protect our community, the children who wants to become the future of our communities. You know, let's build that bridge so everyone,
let's do it.
You know, could do it. And honestly, working with you at C3 and watching how you took care of everything around you with such professionalism.
Thank you.
I know it's in good hands. And
thank you.
Definitely looking forward to us working together, Chris.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think that you're right. The future is bright, and it's going to be a beautiful 2020.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think 2021 is going to look just as good, and probably actually I think it'd be a lot better.
Maybe, yes.
As well.
The sky's the limit.
Absolutely. You know, and nothing can hold you down when you have nothing but the sky to go up.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely. So, outside of that, you have a show, I believe you were planning coming up in June?
The next show I'm planning in June. By next week, I'll have it in concrete so we can go into more details. But I do want to have a show in June. So that is what we have so far. We have, a great champion, the Ring Ranger, Caesar Dragon.
Yep.
He's carrying the torch. He's carrying the prestigious title, the C3 Wrestling Championship. And yeah, well, that's the next move. The next move is hopefully June. I will let everyone know as soon as possible so we can start promoting and we can start working together.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to it. Of course, fans, April 4th here in Michigan City, Indiana. You definitely want to check out the website at www.chicagolandchampionshipwrestling.com. Also, check out their Facebook page at C3 Wrestling.
Yes.
And there's so many great events coming up. You do not want to miss this. Bring the family, bring the kids, grandma, grandpa, and everyone included. We'll have a great time. And you know what? I'll give you the closing. If anybody you want to thank or any final thoughts,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
Wrestling is very important. You know, sometimes wrestling is our culture, it's our religion. So to the person that's listening to this interview, I just want them to say to never give up. Sometimes doors close for others to open. Do not give up. Let's stick together as a brotherhood, not only just wrestling, but in life. Let's help each other. You know, we're here for a reason. We are a purpose. The good Lord has given us purpose. So let's just try to help each other. Like, this is a good example of two businessmen, two entrepreneurs trying to help each other so the wrestling business can succeed. So let's do this together. Let's try not to have a beef with each other. So let's just work together. That's all.
All right. Well, Chris, once
Thank
again,
you.
thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Bullard, Chris Classic,
Have a good
here at Pro Wrestling Tonight. So long.